Hello and welcome to Lunch and Learn Wednesdays presented by Venture Portland. I am Jacob Falkenberg, your host, and today we're going to be talking about social media for small businesses. And we've got a very special guest coming to us from Casa Luz is Isabel Iboa. Welcome, Isabel. How are you?
Good. How are you guys? Thanks for joining.
Of course. Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your business and some of the things you've been doing with social media lately?
okay. So my name's Isabel. You can call me Iz or Izzy, and I run Casa Luz Creatives. So I have a small creative marketing team here in Portland. We do anything from photography, videography, social media management, content creation, web design, and then brand identity. So pretty much anything creative. Right now, we're doing a lot of work with some social media accounts. So we run their social medias, or we'll do, random photo shoots here and there. And yeah, just anything creative is what I basically do.
That's awesome. Thanks for taking the time to share this with us today. I know it's a hot topic for a lot of small business owners. It's super important for marketing your business, but not a lot of business owners have the time or knowledge to do it successfully. So we're really interested to hear what you have to share with us.
Yeah, yeah. So social media is definitely a lot of work. It's whole job on top of like running a business. So I understand how hard it can be for business owners. So I created a small presentation of just like a little 101 of just like the basics, what you should know, some tips that I like have really helped me. So I can share that with you guys right now. Let me see. Okay. Let's go right here. Okay, let me just make sure I'm sharing it with everybody.
Yep, looks good on my end.
Okay, let me go here. Let me see if this is letting me. Okay, let me just go over there. There we go. Okay. So this is some of the stuff that we're going to be going over. Why social media matters, goals and objective, diverse content, apps, brand identity, target audience, and posting. Okay, so this is what I think why social media matters and why it's so important. It's a modern day menu, lookbook, portfolio. People use Instagram to decide what should I order? Do I like their products? Is this place worth visiting? So, I mean, if you think about it, if you go to a new restaurant, a lot of people are starting to go straight to social media to look up tagged photos or to see what the business is posting. I know for myself, I love to look at social media because I'm like, okay, I don't have to look at the menu. I'll just be like, show the waiter my photo and I'll be like, I want whatever you guys just posted. It's super helpful to me. Same with boutiques or any other stores or businesses. It's just really nice to see. And then I think it's really cool when people are trying stuff on because then you know how it fits. People give their reviews of what something tastes like. So I think that's just super, super helpful. And it's, free marketing, it's built-in free marketing. So reels and videos right now, they're getting pushed to people who don't even follow you. So that's free exposure, free reach, and free opportunities for new customers to discover you daily. So, you are posting to your followers who are already following you, but since Instagram is trying so hard to be like TikTok, they're really, really pushing videos. So it's really important that you guys, photos are still super important, but it is important to still be posting a lot of videos so that, gets shown to people and that's free marketing right there. It's also social proof, which equals trust. So, as I was saying before, tagged photos, reviews, and user-generated content show real people enjoying your business. That builds instant credibility and removes hesitation for new customers. That's also why, creating organic content is great because people start feeling like they're there with you or just have like a connection with you. You also stay top of mind. So if you're constantly posting, you're reminding people that you exist. When you're deciding where to shop or eat, your business is already in their head. So if they're following you and who knows, they're deciding on like where to eat later, but it hasn't even crossed their mind, and they see a story of yours, like boom, you're right there in their head, and they're like, oh, wait, I forgot about this place, or actually, I love this place. Let me go back there. So yeah. it's also one of the highest converting marketing tools. So you can show your product, tell your story, make someone take action all in like one scroll. A great post can increase foot traffic, boost sales, and turn casual followers into loyal customers. The one thing I will say about social media, it is hard to measure. So it can be kind of hard for you to really know when people are coming in. But I know with a lot of accounts that I've worked with, there's, one of the accounts that I run is a women's boutique. And every time I'm going in there, there's constantly some of the employees telling me, like, oh, some customer just came in and bought the whole outfit that you tried on for our story because they liked how much it looked. So, it does bring in a lot of traction. It also levels the playing field, so small businesses can compete with big brands simply by just showing up with strong visuals and consistent brand voice. You never know when a video of yours could blow up or maybe a photo post. So that's always really nice when that happens. Okay, so some social media goals and objectives that I think we should always keep in mind. Some of the most important things is increasing the numbers of followers. Followers are a very important aspect as they are the audience that sees the product. So daily content and promotions of the account, but also we don't want to forget about how important engagement is. So, having a high follower count is great because it shows people that people are interested in what you guys sell, what you guys provide. But we also want to make sure we're keeping those followers engaged because if they're not looking at your content, then it's kind of like pointless. We also want to increase brand awareness. So being able to stand out in the market, a brand should have a distinctive value to make the audience aware of its presence. And then we also want to improve, yeah, like I was just saying, is improve engagement with current followers. So creating a bond with followers and interactive and engaging activity is needed. So just keeping those people interested. Also, feel free to ask any questions. I'm looking completely at my presentation, so I can't see if you guys are raising your hands. So just let me know.
I'll keep an eye out.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So the power of a diverse content mix. So thinking about what type of content you should be posting, I'm a firm believer in doing a mix of content. I mean, if you are posting the same thing over and over again and it's working for you, then definitely keep that up. But I think just keeping your follower engaged and being able to see different things is really important. So a strong social media presence isn't just about posting often, it's about posting a variety. A balance of mixed content keeps your audience engaged. It shows personality and gives people a full picture of your business. So these are the top four that I really like to post. So I like doing short clip videos because they're just quick. They can be repetitive. If it's like a text explaining a sale, it could be a 3-second video and it gets repeatedly watched because people are reading it. So what that also does is it increases your viewing on that video, which then ultimately gets shown to more people because it's showing that it's a highly active post. So that's like a really good little trick that I like to do. Also in this day and age, people have such short attention spans. So most likely they're not going to be watching a minute video that you post on Instagram. I wish people still were, but I mean, also you could just sometimes those do well. It just depends on the quality of content. And if you find a niche market or you're noticing that your follower does love that longer video, then yeah, definitely stick to that. Fun and personal is probably what I've seen the most engagement in when I am posting videos for these accounts. I think people really like to see that not everything is so commercial or set up. I think it also creates a good relationship between the business and the viewer. So these just show the human side of your business, whether it's behind the scene moments or the team laughing or a day in the life. Personal content just builds a connection and makes your audience feel like they know you, which I think is really important. When I take on a new account, I always let that person know that I take a very personal approach to social media. So like, just making like I like to learn the business so that, you can be teaching people, showing them who you are, whatever it is. Um, Also throwing high quality photos. So, clean, well lit, visually appealing photos elevate your entire page. These images show off your product, space, or service in the best way possible. I like having a really good mix of that. So like having organic content, behind the scenes, like a very high quality shoot of your food, because that's going to be obviously a lot more appealing to the customer, or a cute professional photo of a model modeling your clothes. A little humor here and there. I think we all like some of those funny relatable videos. They tend to get shared a lot because they're relatable. They also just give you a little giggle. I think making sure that they're tasteful, so they're not too cheesy, or you're just like, oh, I've seen this done over and over. So that's why you want to be careful with trends. I think some of them are great to do because, they can be relatable to your business, but I think they can also get a little bit repetitive. So just thinking outside of the box and coming up with your own witty things, I think is really awesome. So tasteful and brand funny moments make your content more memorable. Humor increases engagement and increases shares and helps your business feel more approachable and relatable. Okay, these are my favorite apps to use. I use them pretty much every single day. So Preview is that first one. And it's an app designed to help to plan and organize your Instagram feed. It lets you arrange upcoming posts in advance so you can see exactly how your grid will look before you publish, keeping everything cohesive, intentional, and visual pleasing. So I always like having, depending on the account, because, some accounts they don't want you to be posting too far ahead or having content too far ahead. I like having like a week's worth of content because then you can plan it out in the grid. So what I like to do with that Preview app is I'll upload all my posts on there. If it's a reel, I'll upload the reel cover and then play around with how they'll look on the grid so that they look cohesive together. Preview is also really nice because you can put in each post the captions. So when you're ready to post, you know what you're going to post, plus the caption, plus the hashtags, or any other little notes that you want to add in there. It's been super helpful. It's also really cool because I don't know if you guys have seen those posts where there's, on the top of somebody's post, it's one photo, but in three posts. So it can cut up a photo up for you, which is really nice. There's a really good free version of this app, and then there's also like, the more advanced, which I think is only $7, but could be worth it if you're trying to do something a little bit more creative with your account. Video Leap, CapCut, and TikTok are pretty similar. So Video Leap has a lot of templates, and so does CapCut. They also both have a lot of really amazing features, like some really good filters, really good text to use, transitions. It's a huge world with those apps. I really like them because it has everything. You just have to spend quite a bit of time on there to learn it, but once you start learning, it makes your life a lot easier. TikTok is also really great because what I like doing in there is sometimes editing it. You can save the video and it saves the audio with it, and it can just be so easy. I like using TikTok for some of my more simple, short videos. It's also just a great tool to use to see what's trending, what's getting a lot of views. TikTok is huge, and Instagram is ultimately pushing videos so much because TikTok is doing so well. And another thing that I think is really important is if you're creating content for Instagram, posting those reels onto TikTok or vice versa. So if you have a TikTok account and you're posting on there, recycling those videos and posting it on, multiple apps. Instagram is great because whatever you post on there can go directly to your Facebook account. TikTok is not connected that way, but you can still cross post. So whenever you're about to post on Instagram or TikTok, just making sure, just go on the other app and posting that because that's extra people that can see your stuff. And then let's see. So with record it, I really like because you can screen record anything that you're doing on your phone. So it's just way to make creative reels, or sometimes when I can't find a sound or a song, I'll just record the song, yeah, upload it into Video Leap, CapCut, or TikTok, and then you can use that sound, or Instagram, you can use it on there too. So those are all really great apps. Okay, brand identity. So brand identity is super important. I always try to tell my clients having a brand book is so important. And for if any of you guys don't know what a brand book is, it's basically just who you are as a business. So, brand book will have your logo, the top four fonts that you should use, your color palette to stick with, just the tone of voice, who you guys are, and inspo for photos or videos. So like over here, this is kind of what we created for Casa Luz's Instagram. We've been shaping it a little bit more, so it's a little bit more cohesive. So this is like what we're doing with our social media. So why it's important, it's, instant recognition, consistent colors, fonts, tones, and visuals. So people can recognize your business immediately. Like someone could see our page and be like, oh, that's Casa Luz, or just by like your icons or the type of photos you're posting. It's also professional and trustworthy. A cohesive look makes your brand feel more established and reliable. It also makes content a lot easier when you know what your brand colors and fonts and tone, creating posts, it becomes fast and consistent. So that's why we created this, because we haven't been posting as much, but we kind of want like a schedule. So we'll know like, on Mondays we're gonna post a photo. On Tuesdays, videos do really good. So we're gonna do that. And then on Fridays, we'll just post like a little blurb, just touching on what we're doing or fun projects or stuff that's going on in the community, whatever you guys want to be doing. So clear brand hooks, so signature phrases, editing styles, visual cues help people remember and identify your brand instantly. It also can stand out from competitors. So having a strong identity equals a strong presence online and in person. So that's always nice. Another thing that you also want to keep in mind with your accounts is your target art audiences. So who's looking at your content? Who's your biggest customer, your client? So what's that age group? So who's watching your content? This is just important to know, because then you can cater to that customer and just being like, if it's a younger customer, we're going to be posting a little bit more trendy, more with their lingo. If it's a customer who's been liking a certain type of video, like let's say they like the longer videos that are super informative, we're going to want to stick to that type of content, and etc. What content does best for you? So some of my accounts, humor does best. They love the cheesy stuff. So I try to stick to that. And then obviously throwing in some photos. One of my accounts was a tattoo shop, and humor did so well for them. Like they were getting like 60,000 views on these videos that we were making for them, which is really fun. But obviously still throwing in tattoos so people could see the work that these tattoo artists were doing. Posting times is also super important, and days. So on your Instagram accounts, you guys will be able to see your target audience. You can see also when you get the highest engagement and what days are doing best for you guys. You can also do a little bit of research online. Like I like doing it based off location. So like I mainly work out of Portland, and like my accounts are mostly in Portland. So like thinking about times when people are on social media. So younger generations, like immediately when they wake up, they're going to be looking at social media. At lunchtime, you're going to go on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So, or after dinner, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, great times to post. And then the one thing that I have noticed across every single account that I've ran is Sundays are not the best days. It's rare when I see an account that has good engagement there. I do have a few that do well on Sundays, but that tends to be like the lowest engagement day. So just keep that in mind. So for posting, quality over quantity, I always say this to everybody. I think it's super important that what you're posting is actual stuff that your customer is going to want to see. So posting constantly matters, but what you share needs to be eye-catching, intentional. A few strong posts will do more for your business than posting every day just to fill the grid. I usually recommend 2 to 4 high quality posts a week and staying active on your stories, or at least like 3 times a week. Your feed should show your best work. Your stories should show your personality. Together, they build trust, interest, and real engagement. So, um, if you want to do a lot of content, I would suggest sticking to around 2 to 3 reels a week, maybe one photo post in there, or switching it over. So like maybe one week you do 3 reels, the next you do 2 photo posts and a reel. But posting on your story, you can go crazy. So if you want to be posting on your story every single day, that's totally fine. Just I highly suggest not spam posting. So don't do more than like 10 stories a day because then people are going to just be overwhelmed. You also want to be careful with oversharing because you can get shadow banned. So sometimes Instagram will think that you're a spam account. So just be really careful about that. Okay, so I think I might have accidentally deleted one other slide that I had in here. Another thing that I really wanted to touch base on was ads. Unfortunately, Instagram loves money, so I highly suggest in the beginning when you're starting off, or if you really are trying to push gaining more followers, getting more engagement, I think for the first 3 months is boosting one of your posts a week, and I highly recommend that being a video. Just because it's obviously going to be shown to more people, people who don't follow you, and on top of that, you're boosting it, so it's getting shown to even more people. Always choose your best post, and then when you go in there, it will give you options of like whether you want Instagram to boost it for you and just off what they recommend. I don't suggest doing that because if you're a local business or if you're an online business, it's going to be very different. So if you're a local business, you're probably going to be want to boosting this post to people who are in the area. So you're not going to be want to be boosting this to people in New York because it's like very unlikely that they're going to be able to come and visit unless you have a website online. Then yeah, you should probably be boosting it to other people like in other states because then you can get more business that way. So yeah, fortunately, I do think it is important, at least for the first few months until you get like a really good, engaging audience. And then that's obviously a lot. So if you guys have questions, please just let me know. Or if you're just like, oh my God, social media is too much. We have Casa Luz, we have a team of models, designers, social media managers, photographers, videographers. We kind of do it all. So whether any of you guys need help with a brand book or you guys want to do a content shoot once a month, or you just want nothing to do with social media and you're like, just take it over, we can always help. So we're here. And that's all I wanted to go over with you guys.
Thanks so much. The social media landscape is changing so quickly, and it's hard to keep up on, what's the latest trends, what apps people are using, what content is the most successful. And yeah, what should small business owners be posting about to grow their following and to drive sales and that sort of thing. I wonder if it might be helpful to kind of see maybe some examples of some of the posts that you've done for small businesses, just to kind of get a feel for. I know a lot of small business owners are just kind of always at a loss for um,
Yeah.
what should I be posting about? It's their day to day, so
Mhm.
it's they don't think it's that interesting because they see it every day. But um, I wonder, is there an example of some successful businesses that have been using social
Yeah.
media to their
Let me
advantage?
see. I might have to upload those after our meeting, but I do have some great examples of some grids that I've done or just some screenshots of reels that have done really good that have gone over like 50,000 views. So I can always share that in the chat. I'm trying to see if I can do this in a quicker matter. Um, let me see over here.
In the meantime, if anybody has questions, feel free to drop them into the chat too. I didn't mean to hijack the session.
Hi, Isabel. Thank you so much for being here today. I have a couple of questions. I do social media for my husband and I's business, and I mostly wanted to come on here kind of as like a refresher course for myself and to see what has changed since the last time I did any education on social media. So my big question for you is about hashtags. Are they still being used? Are they passé? Do people use them to find things? Like, Tell me if they're worth my time.
Okay, I think hashtags are important. I think we're definitely steering away from, posting like 20 hashtags. It's kind of being considered as spamming from what I've seen on certain accounts. I like to stick from anywhere from 4 to 8 hashtags and just a lot of people will suggest using hashtags that are not used by like everybody, but I think it is still important to use some of those generic hashtags. So, one that I'll use for an account is, Portland bars. Because I mean, I will go on Instagram whenever I visit a new city, I will look up that city plus bars. And so people are still using hashtags. I think because keywords have taken over a little bit, I think that's why we don't want to use too many hashtags. So when you're writing a caption using keywords like come like let's just say like hi happy Monday, we have this new special going on, and then right below it you're like come visit us on Mississippi Street in Portland, Oregon for a drink. Just adding those little keywords will also help, especially if your post is getting good traction. It's going to be shown up at the top of the search bar when people type that in.
Okay. Great. So kind of leaning towards the keywords built into the text as opposed to hashtags calling it out.
Yeah.
I have another question, but I don't want to steal everybody's time. I saw Michael had one in the comments, so I'll wait.
Okay. What about posting events and successes for your clients? Okay, Michael, so are you asking about like how successful it's been for events?
Well, what I have right now is a customer who's cutting a ribbon this coming week for his new business. Is it appropriate for me to put a post up about that business in my social media? I know he wants to in his, but should I
It's
replicate that or do something along those lines?
okay, so so that's a separate business. They're not going to do it with you.
Say again?
So that business who's cutting the ribbons, are they doing that at their business or at your business?
At their business.
At their business. I think it's great. I think if you're making friendships with other businesses and sharing that, I think that's really valuable because ultimately they can do that for you. I think having events like that at your business is a really great way to bring in people. So, yeah, I think that's super successful. It's also really nice when you collab with other businesses. So, let's say you were to collab with that business and maybe you had someone at your business gift wrapping. I don't know what your business is, but if you were to have something like that, collabing with two accounts, so you can collab on a post. So if you post something, you send an invite to that person that you're gonna collab with on this event. It's getting shown to both of their Instagram accounts and their followers. So that's really great because your event that you're doing with this person is you're going to get more traction to your business because they're going to be like, oh, this person I really like who gift wraps is doing it at this business I've never heard of. And so, you can get more followers that way or more business that way. So, yeah, I think that's huge.
Okay.
But,
My other
oh, sorry.
question.
Sorry, one last thing, Michael. Also just if you're supporting other businesses, that's also just going to make you look good. So I think it's great to help other businesses and they're going to return that favor down the road too. So yeah, I think that's great.
Well, this guy's a photographer. He is opening a new business in Salem. He's got one in Beaverton, but he's opening a new one in Salem. And of course, I did his website for him because that's what I do. And I don't have a place to cut a ribbon in front of my, I work out of my home. So,
Okay, so then in that case, I think share the post and then your next post could be like you made the website for them. And then you could, show a screenshot of the website you did or a screen recording using that app. You could go on your phone, screen record super slowly of you scrolling on the website. And then in your caption, you could say, I built the website for this friend.
mm,
And then, um, advertise yourself and just be like, please reach out if you need any help. We have some openings, etc.
okay. Yeah, because I have traditionally not done very much with social media at all. But I have a consulting agent who said, get started yesterday. So,
Yeah. It's very important. And I mean, we build websites too, and sometimes marketing yourself and trying to make content for websites, showing off a website that you have is can be a little bit hard, but I highly suggest going on Instagram and looking up for inspiration of like how people are marketing the websites that they have built. So yeah, using Instagram or TikTok or Pinterest would be great ways for you to find some inspiration of what type of content to make.
and we can segment that content. So you were making the comment that you post 2 or 3 times, or maybe 3 to 5 times a week.
Hmm.
Uh, Maybe you want to use content geared to Instagram or TikTok on one day, and then you could actually post 5 times a week, but you make post to various different social media groups.
Yeah,
Okay, so you could do it daily if you want to, if you've got the time.
if you got the time, yes.
And Olivia, did you have another question?
I do. I don't want to fill the whole space. I
No,
wanted to
we've got
know,
time, so don't worry about it.
okay. Isabel, I wanted to know your thoughts. So my previous background in using social media for business has been for business to consumer facing businesses. So like you're talking about restaurants, bars, uh, shopping stores, that kind of thing. And now I'm currently facing business to business type of advertising. And I'm just finding that I don't feel like Instagram is the place for me anymore. Like I think I should still have a presence there so that if people choose to look us up, we're there, we're fresh, we don't look like, oh my God, did this place close 3 years ago? They haven't posted anything in days. Um, but I just don't think that a lot of businesses are looking for the ways they're going to invest their business on social media. Do you disagree? Am I missing something?
Okay, so what exactly are you doing for businesses? Like what would you say are some of your like day-to-days
Yeah,
or
we do tech support for small businesses.
okay.
So if you're at the point where you don't want to hire a staff IT person, but you also don't want to be handling your computers yourself, you would hire us.
Okay, so yes, I would say that's a little bit harder to make content for and market on Instagram, but I think with something like that, I think making content that teaches people kind of what you do. So it could be a screen recording of you right now, and then your background could be of like how you helped out this business and telling a business like why it's so important that we help this business with this. So like helping them understand that and being informative because I will look up a bunch of videos like that I'm like, oh, I never knew anything about cybersecurity or like, oh, I should keep that in mind or like I think teaching people about that would be great content for you guys to share. So yeah, and that, again, that's a harder business to promote on Instagram, but I think tapping into that would be great for you.
Awesome, thank you. And it looks like Armand has a question. Hi, Armand, are you there?
Yep, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
So my question is, our business is really more mobile. We're in different places. So we're a summer only operation. We do a soft frozen lemonade new to Portland, only found in Italy and in the state of Rhode Island. And so we're bringing it here, but we're in different locations. So how can we use social media to update where we are? And I guess the challenge is that is I don't know where we're going to be every day. And we might move around. And is social media actually good for that?
Yes, it's actually super good. And funny that you have that because this summer I actually was working with a shaved ice cart. So, we were only in business with them for a few months because obviously their busiest times is when it's warm out or if they do events. And so, what we would do is post actively, like the moment that we knew that we were going to be in a certain area or for a certain event we would post it. And the way that we were able to post it super quickly is we had a flyer already pre-made with all the details that you usually would need. But, you know, every time we like got updated on an event that we would be working at, we just edit the date, the time. So I think that's really important to share. I think also if you did know ahead of time, whether it's a week, it's just promoting that on Instagram. And then when you're at these events, showing off how fun the event was, why you should book us for your next event, or if you want us there, just all these things, or showing off the flavors that you have, or why it's so special because it's, you know, only made in usually in Italy, I think would be really great. And I can also share that account with you so you can kind of see what we were posting for them. That actually was our highest growing Instagram account. I think we gained them like 1,200 followers in like 3 months, but they also took very seriously promoting because they started at 42 followers. And, you know, we told them each week which post to promote, and they listened to us and it grew them immensely. So,
Cool. Yeah, I think that would be awesome if I could get that.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I will definitely share that account with you.
Thank you. And so is there a way on like Instagram, if somebody wants to know where I am right now, that I could like have a tracker or something?
Not really. If you're gonna post something, oh, this is another thing that I didn't get to go over in the slideshow is every time you're posting, you should always be posting your location because that's another way for people to find you. So with Momo's, which is the food cart that we were running, the best thing that we would do is just update our bio and we would just be like currently in Beaverton, and then we would write the date and the time. But there's
Okay.
no way for people to like really see.
Okay. Cool.
That's
Olivia,
actually just changed. There is a map on Instagram that
there
you,
is. Somebody had told
yeah.
me about
The one
that, and I was
on the notes.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. I actually was just reading about this morning, but I didn't finish reading it. Okay, so Armin, I was wrong about that. So if you have the updated version of Instagram, then you should be able to do that.
ooh, okay. I'm gonna check that out. Thanks, Olivia.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I had to go in and because I'm anti people knowing where I am at any time, I have to
Yeah,
go
I've
in and
done
turn it
that.
all off. But if you go into your so like if you're in your account and you go into your messages up here at the top, the little
Uh-huh.
triangle, then if you look at all these circles over here on the side, there's the map button, and then it'll show you where people are.
And that would be linked to like the GPS of the phone, right? Yeah.
This is the point where I say, I don't know, I just turned
Okay.
it all off
Yeah,
But
because
just
I don't want anybody to know where I
that's
am.
really good. That's really good and helpful, and I'm gonna look into that more. So thank you.
Thank you, Olivia. I just dropped a link about it in the chat.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's what I said, you know, there's lots of new features always kind of popping up, so it's hard to keep up. For an individual, you know, probably not as useful, but for yeah, a mobile business, that seems like a really helpful feature to kind of track where they're at in real time. I had a question just about different types of content. You said videos are obviously the most successful, but you know some businesses, more service-based businesses, might not be able to create video content that seems all that interesting. Um, is there any value to posts that you kind of create in Canva or any other sort of like Photoshop? If you're able to make like a flyer or something, is that something that could go on your timeline, or do you really think that photos and video are the most successful?
Yeah, I will say photos and videos are going to be the most successful. If you're making a photo post, posting carousel posts are, you know, going to do a little bit better than just one photo post. So, you know, posting multiple photos together. Videos are just getting shown to so much more people because Instagram is really trying to push video. Another way to go around that is in Canva, you can make some of your photos more animated. So if you create a little flyer, add some text in there, it can be animated, and then you can post it as a reel. So it will get shown to a little bit more people. So that's a good way around it. Or if you want to do a photo collage video, So you can add multiple photos when you're editing a reel on Instagram, and you can adjust how many seconds that the photo is going to be shown on there. So that's another good way to go around that if you don't feel like you can create video content. Um, I think also just whatever your business is finding accounts similar that are high performing. So if you just go to the search bar, you look up there, some of the highest performing content is going to be at the very top. So just going to those accounts and also going to the videos and seeing which ones have the most view, and just scroll down and see what they're posting, and not exactly copying them, but that's a good way to just like figure out maybe like, oh, I never thought of posting that type of content. So that will be super helpful.
Oh, you cut out there for a second, but I think you're back now.
Oh, sorry. Okay, what was the last thing you caught?
Just about the creating kind of like a slideshow of photos.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the other thing is, what you can do is find other businesses similar to you on Instagram. Whether you have an account that you really like and what they do, or if you go to the search bar and look up what your business is, the highest performing content is usually at the top, but if you keep scrolling, I would look for the videos with the highest views, so that way you can get inspiration at like what people are really liking that has to do with your business. So you can find so many unique ways that way. And yeah, you can be like, oh, I would have never thought of doing a video like that. Also using Pinterest. Pinterest is a good source that I use to look up content that, when I'm a little bit stuck and I'm not sure what to create, is I'll type in a certain type of business and type in content, and you can get some pretty great inspiration that way.
Awesome. That's super helpful. I know this for some, yeah, it's just coming up with those initial ideas is the hardest part to figure out, well, yeah, what to post about. And then, yeah, trying to dial in, okay, should this be a reel? Should this be a story? Should this be a post? Is there any specific, I know you touched on this a little bit about the different types of things you can do in Instagram. Is there any guidance on, what should be a post versus a story versus a reel? Anything like that?
Yeah, I would just say just posting whatever you make that you're just like, oh wow, this is a really great photo, or this is a really good video, whether it's funny or helpful. I think posting your best content on your feed, because then it's going to stay there for as long as you want it to stay. Um, and then your stories, I would just say super quick, easy stuff, whether you're showing off how busy it is in your location, or a new product or a new service that you're going to do, you can do that. Another way is if you don't want it to go on your feed, but you like the information that you're sharing. So if it's like your new policies, you can create highlights on your Instagram page. And so, it can be services or policies, and you can add those stories that you posted and add them to your highlights so that they can stay there for whoever to see.
Awesome. So the highlights are kind of like the pins that you can put in a post. They'll stay at the top and they won't disappear, because typically they just disappear after 24 hours, right? So awesome. That's helpful. Thank you. Looks like Olivia has another question.
Hi, sorry, yes, I'm here. You mentioned highlights, which has got me thinking, do we feel like people use them? Or like, is that,
We
yeah, talk to
actually,
me.
so one of the accounts, so the clothing boutique account does, we get people constantly. So whenever stuff sells out, we delete whatever is not like no longer on the floor. But we constantly get messages from our highlights asking people like, or asking us if we still have this jacket in stock or this shoe. Another good one is this medical spa that we run. So people are constantly asking about services, like being like, oh, are you guys still running this sale? Are you still doing this for $60? And so and so. So I do think highlights are important, just not over spamming it or adding too many highlights, because then people are going to be like, oh, those are old, or like just making sure you keep them up to date. And
I
so
was just about to ask, what are your guidelines? Like, how old can we go in the story on the highlights, and how many highlights should we have?
I would try to keep them like as fresh as possible, just because people will not know if that still implies or not. So posting, like, let's say they were services, reposting that to your story, like let's say you posted it 5 months ago, repost it again and then delete those old highlights and then add those to your highlights now. So like what you just posted, so that
Yeah.
it's more fresher and people know like, oh, this is still like their policy or they're still having this sale or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like one of the highlights that we have on ours is I have like the team. So I have everybody's headshots and you can click through to read about them. So like that's something I can leave up
Yeah.
forever. Like I don't need to repost that.
Yeah.
And then I've got like reviews and that kind of thing. So
Yeah,
that's
reviews are great. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, those are two really good ones.
Yeah. And again, how many highlights do you think people should have at the top? Like I assume just not swipeable,
Yeah,
right?
I would say like not too many unless it's something like if you really think it's important to have like 5 or 6. So like, with the clothing boutique, it's shoes, tops, bottoms, like they're gonna have a lot more.
Yeah.
With the medical spa, it's services, sales going on, before and afters, and and the team. So that's like 4 right there. So
Yeah.
it
So
depends.
we have the team, we have reviews, we have what we do, which is where I just post like when I have little videos of the guys out in the field, tech tips, and then just funny, like things that are if you want to go through and watch some tech humor.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Any other questions for Isabel?
Thank
I
you.
have one.
Thank you, Isabel.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael, did you have something?
Yeah, have you dropped your contact information into the chat so we
I
can
was waiting till the very end because I didn't want to get distracted, but I will add that and then I will put in that account that is that I think you should look at, and then I'm trying to think of anything else. I'm gonna add all my information in there so you guys can look at it.
Okay.
And I'll send a follow-up email to everyone as well with Isabel's contact info and link to the recording. If you know someone that wanted to get the info but couldn't make it today, we'll have all that information to you probably tomorrow.
I know two in our business association who called me earlier, said, I can't get there. So that'll be good.
That's okay. Yeah, it'll remain on our YouTube channel for the foreseeable future, so they can always access it there. But I want to thank everybody for coming, and a big thank you to our presenter, Isabel Iboa from Casa Luz. Thank you so much for taking the time. This is really helpful for a lot of folks to continue to market and promote their business, especially during this upcoming holiday season.
Of course, I was happy to be here and happy to help.
All right.
Thank you
Well,
very much.
Thank you.
we will adjourn for today and look for that email follow-up from me tomorrow. And yeah, please let us know if you have any other questions as you continue to market and promote your businesses. Have a great day, everybody.
Have a great week.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye, guys.